What's going on? What's going on? All right. So, I found something and I thought that this was amazing. I thought that this was awesome. And I wanted to bring this to your attention. I wanted to bring this to you because this was brought to my attention and it's talking about the power of focus, the power of attention, and the power of concentration because I feel like this is just such a commodity today in this age where, hey, how's it going, y'all? How's it going? Hey, Ashley. Hey there. Appreciate you joining. Hey there, Danielle. So, concentration, attention, focus. Where do we value these things and where do we place these and where do they rank in our lives when it comes to the power of focus and the power of attention? When I was younger, they used to tell me, oh, you're ADHD, right? You have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, right? Oh, you need to talk to this therapist, that counselor, that psychiatrist, that psychologist, and we need to prescribe to you some medication so that you can focus, right? So that you can concentrate. So, coming up, hey, much love, Natalie. Awesome. Oh, good night. So coming up, taking Adderall, Strattera, Concerta, Ritalin, like all these things just to be able to focus and concentrate. I had to figure out like how to navigate and maneuver through these, the medication to figure this out. So when I happened upon this chapter, it really struck me. And it says that the main difference between men or human beings and animals is the difference in their power of concentration. So I'd love to get your opinion on this. Just anything that you feel or anything that comes up for you, jot it down. Hey, Fabricio, what's going on, family? I seen what you put up, man. That moon cycle. You on it. So just comment what comes up for you. Right. Boom. Yeah, we're just gonna go through it real quick. I'm just gonna read this short chapter. It's called The Power of Concentration. And also, Fabricia, you can tell me, do you see the title up there? Does it say The Power of Concentration up there for you? Let me know if it does. So it says the main difference between human beings and animals is the difference in their power of concentration. All success in any line of work is the result of this. Everybody knows something about concentration, right? We see its results every day. Every day we look around us and we see the results of people with more or less concentration than others that are able to focus and able to commit themselves to do something. The root word of like commitment and decision is to cut off. Are we able to focus? Are we able to keep going? Persistence, push through, consistency, keep going. An animal can have very little power of concentration, but those who have trained animals find much difficulty in the fact that the animal is constantly forgetting what is told to them. They cannot concentrate their mind long upon much at a time. Herein is the difference between us and the animals. We have the greater power of concentration. Do you believe that? I know that there are animals that are able to concentrate, when it comes to like, you think of a lion in the wild, hunting an animal, stalking them, like that's takes some focus, some concentration, right? But when it comes to us as human beings, I believe that we can really hone down and really focus and really concentrate for long periods if put to the task. So let me get through this real quick and I'll go through the comments here. The difference in our power of concentration also constitutes the difference between us and other humans. Compare the lowest with the highest. The difference is in their degree of concentration. Everyone's mind becomes concentrated at times. We all concentrate upon those things that we love, and we love those things upon which we concentrate our minds. What mother is there that does not love the face of her homeliest child? That face is to her the most beautiful in the world. She loves it because she concentrates her mind upon it. If everyone could concentrate their mind on that same face, everyone would love it. It would be to all the most beautiful face. We all concentrate our minds upon those things that we love. So it says the great trouble with such concentrations is that we do not control the mind, it controls us. Have you ever felt like that? Like, there's a saying in meditation, I do not meditate to control my mind. I meditate so that my mind does not control me. So that difference in concentration and focus of being able to use the mind as a tool, as an instrument, instead of being ruled by the mind. That the mind makes, a wonderful servant, but a cruel master. It can be your greatest friend or your worst enemy. If you don't know how to concentrate, if we cannot focus, then we are ruled, by the monkey mind. Clanging cymbals together in our mind, just over and over, just banging cymbals and just looking left and right at every which way. Everything is just taking us off of our focus. And in this day and age, I feel like focus is becoming more and more of a commodity. It's like, it's essential now. If you can pay attention for even 5 minutes at a time, if you can focus, you've got a very competitive edge, like a competitive advantage today. In this age where we are bombarded by, social media, and we have all these things where even, Snapchat started those stories, where Instagram and Facebook, and now even YouTube has shorts, right? YouTube calls them shorts. So every social media platform is mimicking, these stories, these snippets, but they're very like short attention span snippets. So they're like 15 seconds each. And don't we even flip through the 15 seconds. We don't even have time to see a 15-second video. We have to keep going. So attention is becoming very, very, very valuable today. So almost done here. Let me see here. Can this concentration be developed? And can we become masters of it? The yogis say yes. The yogis say that we can get perfect control of the mind. On the ethical side, there is danger in the development of the power of concentration. The danger of concentrating the mind upon an object and then being unable to detach as will. So it's basically saying that even if we develop the power of concentration, we should also develop the ability to detach from what we're concentrating on. This is what I love right here. So being able to detach at a moment's notice and place it on something else, these two should be developed together to make it safe. I mean, I'm sure you would understand why it would be a nice thing to have the skill of detachment when you're so focused on something and you can't take your eyes off it for a minute. If you're on the road, you want to look to where you're going, right? You want to look in the direction that you're going. But what do? In life, we don't always look in that direction. We're looking at the trees, right? We're looking at the birds. We're looking at the things all around us. But that's not where we're going, So in life, if we were focusing in life the way that we focus, if we focused on the road, on the highway, the way that we pay attention in life, we'd be everywhere. We'd be all in the forest, wrecked up on the side, hitting telephone poles, So this is what I love. This is the systematic development of the mind. To me, the very essence of education is concentration of mind, not the collecting of facts. This was what hit me. If I had to do my education all over again and had any voice in the matter, I would not study facts at all. I would develop the power of concentration and detachment, and then with a perfect instrument, I could collect facts at will. Side by side in the child should be developed the power of concentration and detachment. How has all the knowledge in the world been gained but by the concentration of the powers of the mind? The world is ready to give up its secrets if we only know how to knock, how to give it the necessary blow. The strength and force of the blow come through concentration. There is no limit to the power of the human mind. The more concentrated it is, the more power is brought to bear on one point. That is the secret. So it also talks about training the mind through breath work and harmonious concentration. So this was a chapter from the book Personality Development by Swami Vivekananda. And, when I think of concentration, it's kind of like a laser beam, right? When you're concentrated, you think of a laser pointed at its target, a laser beam that is so concentrated that it can perform surgery, like surgical procedures with that needle point like, concentration. Whatever something is fine, very fine, concentrated, it has power, right? It can drill into something. Whereas if the energy is dispersed, if it's all over the place, it doesn't have as much power as it would if it were focused, right? If it had that one pointedness. So you also think of like the magnifying glass method. And I've had to deal with this in my life when it comes to wanting to be a Renaissance man, doing all sorts of things, right? You want to do this, you want to do that. You have this hobby, that skill, that ability, this gift, that talent. But if you're not honing in on something or other, you don't really get deep enough to make a dent, right? So you think of a magnifying glass. Honing the power of the sun's light, that sunbeam coming through the glass, if you hold it over a piece of paper or something outside, you can concentrate that energy of the sun so fine through that glass that it burns a hole through the paper. That's the power of concentration and focus, that energy. But you take that same magnifying glass, you take the same sun's light, you take the same piece of paper, and all you do is just wave it around the paper. You just move it around the paper, and guess what happens? That's right. Nothing. Nothing at all. Same magnifying glass, same sunlight, same paper, but no concentration, no focus. So that energy is dispersed, it's everywhere, it's all over the place, and it doesn't make a dent. So these are the powers of concentration. There's a story, Swami Vivekananda was in a library, and he would ask for these books, these huge volume books, like 400 to like 800 page volumes. And so he would read them in a day. He would just go through them, and the next day he would get another book, and the next day he would get another book. And soon the librarian was like, what is going on? There's no way this guy's reading these books. Like, I'm just looking at him flipping through the pages. There's no way he's actually reading this. So he questioned him one day, and Swami was like, yeah, I'm actually reading them. You ask me anything from the volumes, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. So the guy quizzed him. He gave him a test right then and there, and he was able to quote verbatim what page, what paragraph, what line, like through any of the books that he had requested. And he was like, no, this is superhuman. There's no way you can do this. Like, how are you doing this? And he just basically told him, through the power of concentration and focus, that people can develop this ability very naturally. That if given the certain amount of time, you teach a child A for apple, right? And the child, starts with one letter. Teach the child A for apple. The child starts with one letter, and they might say A, P, P, L, E, right? They're going one letter at a time. Whereas later on, they'll develop the skill to go one word at a time. Now they get better at concentration and focus. Now they can see more of the picture. Now instead of just A-P-P-L-E, they see apple, right? Then they keep going. Now instead of just one word at a time, they see sentences at a time. Then you see paragraphs at a time. And then he said you can reach the point where you see pages at a time. And he said, that's what I'm doing with books. I see the whole thing. I can just look at the page and I already know what the author wants to say. I already feel it. It's in my body. So this is the power of concentration, y'all. Whatever we focus on the longest grows the strongest. What you focus on expands. And when you think of the magnifying glass, the only way that we really make a dent is by using that power of focus. So, thank you so much. Let me see. Oh, nice. We got some comments here. Thank y'all for joining. I'll save this live so you can hear the beginning of it. Fabricio says, a lot of people say dolphins are smarter than humans. Very interesting, you know. I've heard a lot about dolphins and like their abilities is pretty fascinating. Something like the brain 40% bigger cerebral cortex, said Fabricio, that they have memories of Atlantis and Lemuria. It's a law that you can't go near dolphins unless in an aquarium. Really, I didn't know that. Fabricio said, I feel humans are the parents, like father and mother, they are her children, the animals. Humans have the power to concentrate, especially when it comes to concentrating on stressful situations. Humans are the only beings that stress for days on end. Animals stress for a few moments, right? So you think about that too, you know, how easy is it for us to be derailed of our focus and our concentration? You know, it could be that quick, you know, and I think it's just getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Where today, if you can pay attention for even just a stretch, just a period, you've got such an edge today, you know? It's just so, you're just so ahead if you can just concentrate. This is why I like to, you know, continue meditation. Then they go and stop with their day. Fabricio says, wow, this is good stuff. Hey, thanks, brother. I'll send you a video of the lunar eclipse explaining what will happen. Awesome. Would love to see that. Uh-huh. Oh, thank you for joining. Hey there. Hey, Trevor. Um, okay. Danielle says, I'm struggling with attachment. What sort of attachments are you struggling with, Danielle? Fabricio says, breath work is the answer to everything, including letting go of attachment. Yeah, breath work has helped me on all levels. Definitely agree with that. You know, breathing in, let it go. What is Wim Hof say? Fully in, let it go. Fully in, let it go. Fabricio says attachment is shallow breath, causing shallow thoughts. Yeah, we do think how we breathe and we breathe how we think. I agree. Once you deeply breathe and resurface the shallow breath and transmute into full breath, you'll let go of attachment. Wonderfully put. Hey, Carly. Hey, how's it going, Jason? Hey, Abigail. What's going on here? All right. I legit just thought of that. Did you really? When you mentioned focus concentration, that's crazy. Interesting. Ah, Trevor, you're funny. Thus spoke Jerome. Yeah, beautiful. Hey, greetings to you, Chris. How's it going? We gotta have another chess match, which takes concentration. I like how you focus on the board, brother. Hey, is that Jess? How's it going? All right, awesome. That's so cool. Trevor says, very interesting. Thanks, Fabi. Fabricio says, meditation is the cultivation for concentration. And the father of creation is relaxation. High five. Jess says, I used to read the first and the page of every book. You mean like the first and the last page of every book? I used to read those choose your own adventure books where they would take you to like if you go in the cave, turn to page 264. All right. What did she say? M organically. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Of course. Yeah. Alexandre. He said, where focus goes, energy flows. Most definitely. Yes, Alex. True. All right. Jason said, sun gazing augments focus and concentration by thousands of %. Yeah, you know, when you're gazing at the sun, you do, you know, your heart rate slows down. It's lowering your blood pressure, everything. You are concentrating, you know, you're in a very zen-like state. At least I know I am. And I do feel like I'm receiving downloads and light codes from the sun that allow me to concentrate even further. So that's a form of, you know, like Tritaka meditation. sun gazing. It's like sun tratak. Like candle gazing or eye gazing. Hey Simone, how's it going? You have a beautiful day as well. Fabricio says, you can call me Fabi. Awesome. Okay, Fabi. Fabulous. Inspiration, yes, much inspiration. Danielle, people, especially romantic connections, the search for a partner to walk the path. Spitting bars, she said. Are you live? Yes, this is live. Fabi says, bruh, since doing semen retention, every girl I talk to feel like we could be great partners. Very interesting. Very interesting. Fabricio says, I feel my sexual energy attracting me the best possible relationships. Yeah, when you start to love yourself in new ways, you see that love reflected in the world and in others. People start to become attracted to, to that energy. Because we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are, I think. That's what I think it's been for me. The relationships that I've attracted in my life were always based on my vibrational state. That's who I attracted. Chris says, ready for the next game. Hey, I'm glad you're learning, man. We both learning. Yeah, chess is a wonderful teacher when you're, in that mode of concentration and focus. Abstinence, he said. Chess brings wisdom, no doubt. Yeah. Awesome, says Jason. Fabricio, I received dark codes from the black sun. If you sun gaze enough, with enough concentration, you realize the sun is actually black. I've heard this. I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard it from multiple people. Meditation is the teacher. Awesome. All right. Nice. So yeah, y'all, have you seen this in your life when it comes to concentration, when it comes to focus, that wherever your focus goes, energy flows, and the things that you start to focus on expand more. So think of that analogy of the car. Think of, focusing on where you're headed. Someone once asked Aristotle, how does one make it to Mount Olympus, right? And Aristotle simply said, by ensuring that each step you take is in the direction of Mount Olympus, right? So focus, right? If you're going this way and that, if you're constantly changing your direction, if you're constantly changing your mind about where you want to go, how will you ever get there? So it's a wonderful thing to be able to concentrate and focus, especially when you're looking to get somewhere in life. Because if you don't even know where you're going, you may end up where you're headed. And often that's not where you would want to be. Perhaps it might even be where someone else is guiding you to. So be your own compass, follow your heart, and stay focused. Stay focused, y'all. You can do this. You can do this. And understand that there is so much power in that, just like the laser beam that's able to drill through a hole or even perform surgical procedures because of its focus, because of that focused energy and that concentration. So can you. You will make so much more of a dent. You'll be able to do in 1 year what many people can only do in 10 years. Meaning that if you were to live 100 years, it'd be like you're living 1,000 years in productivity, and all you did was focus. All you did was hone down and hone in. You can save yourself so much time, so much energy, and so many resources. And yeah, just by focusing. So this is just a PSA, a public service announcement, as we continue to get more and more technology developed today, and our attention is taken away from ourselves, taken away from our innate abilities to focus and concentrate on the things that we want to make manifest in life. Think of it like a tractor beam. You're sending out the energy that you want to receive, but if the radio station is muddled, if the connection is fuzzy, how do they know where to find you? It's like you're on an island and you're stranded and you're waving, help, help, and you got a smoke signal, right? And you want people to find you, and a helicopter is just going overhead, and you're not focused. Well, you don't have that smoke signal. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe you don't have all the things that show that help sign there. You can't they can't find you. They don't know where you are. So it's like focus, concentrate, and you will get to where you're going so much faster. So much faster. They were asking what was it? Oh yeah, I think it was Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie um the person who worked with Napoleon Hill for Think and Grow Rich and all of that. So at the time in history when he was around, he made like buku bucks. He just made like so much money and so fast. It wasn't like today where people make, billions of dollars for like, these apps and these platforms. He was in the time period where people had to have factories and they had to have manufacturing companies and all sorts of stuff for decades and generations to amass the type of wealth that he was able to generate in a relatively quick amount of time. And so quick, in fact, that they actually came to him and they thought he was doing something dirty, like it was malpractice. Like there's no way you can make this amount of money in this amount of time in this day and age. Like you have to be doing something, behind the table. And so they investigated him and they questioned him and they found out, no, he checked out, everything checked out. And they said, well, how is this possible? How are you able to amass this fortune in such a short amount of time? And what he told him was basically, I have the ability to concentrate on something, on one thing, for 5 minutes at a stretch. I can concentrate on one thing for 5 minutes. And they thought, like, what? That doesn't sound impressive at all. Like, what are you talking about? 5 minutes? 5 minutes? That's easy. And he said, okay, let's try it out. And he gave them a test, and each of them failed. They couldn't concentrate, not even for 5 minutes, even for 30 seconds. Their mind was wavering. They just couldn't focus. So the power of focus and concentration is so key, and it's never been more key today, when it's not like back in, those times where if you had even a few books on your bookshelf, you were considered well off. You were very wealthy. Now we have whole libraries. Now we have, all sorts of stuff. Now we have all at the fingertips, right? At the palm of your hand. You can look up whatever information you want. So all this information is giving us less and less concentration, less and less focus, less and less time to reflect, and less time for that introspection that is needed to develop these abilities that we have. So I feel like we would be a lot further in our own innate abilities if it weren't for us relying so much on outside things, on external technologies and stuff like that. So imagine if you put your power of focus to any task, any door will be open to you. Whatever you want to do, whatever super abilities that you want to have, be it telekinesis, be it teleportation, be it telepathy, be it, time travel, be it astral projection, be it anything. Whatever you put your focus on, you're going to get it. But it is where your focus is. So thank you so much. Peace, y'all. Much love. Thank you so much for being here. Jerome, I gotta go, but this was fine like always. Love you, brother. Hey, Fabricio, much love, family. And I'll see you, man. Take care. Meditation is the teacher, they said. Awesome. All right. So yeah, just enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, you have the power within you. All that you need is within you now. You are resourceful. You have all the resources. You have all the opportunity. You have boundless, unlimited potential. And it's all within you. It's all within you, my friend. So realize that you have it now and use it. So much love. Y'all take care, and we'll see you again very soon. Ta-ta.